Hi, this is Dr. Charmaine Gregory, and this is the Nocturnist Diary. I am going to be doing a series. I'm actually in the middle of it. This is the second in the series, and I'm just going to be talking about the problems and advantages, as well as some solutions for working the night shift. Today, I wanted to talk about what is the deal with hormones in the night shift. Why is there a difference between the hormones that are released at night and those that are released during the daytime? So, in general, we are pretty uniquely and amazingly engineered, and there is something called a circadian rhythm that we all have and that we've had for the existence of our beings. And that is based on, good morning, Jennifer, thanks for joining. That is based on the day and night cycle, so that 24-hour cycle, and based on light and dark. So the body gets exposed to either light, which is a signal that says that it is time to be up, about, hunt, gather, do the things that you would typically do when there is light out. And so you have the advantage of seeing what you are doing. And then there is the dark phase, which has the effect on the body of it is time to sleep, recharge, get ready for the release of things that are going to help when you have to resume daytime activities. So as you can see, that is flipped upside down for us that work at night, because when we're going to work, it is dark out. So that is typically when our bodies would be in the dark phase or would be sleeping and releasing those hormones. And then when we are coming home from work, it is light out. And so our bodies are thinking that it should be releasing those things that we would expect when it's light out, when we need to be sleeping and releasing those dark related hormones. So there are several hormones that are released while we sleep. The two that I'm going to focus on are cortisol and melatonin. So cortisol is one that is, it rises immediately as we start to sleep, and it peaks right in the early morning, soon before we wake up. And it is known as the stress hormone, and basically it's a stress hormone because it's kind of like mobilizes us to have the energy for fight or flight. So it works on modulating and regulating our glucose or sugar in our body. And so as you can well imagine, we need sugar in order for energy. So if we're in a situation where we need to run from the dinosaur or the animal that's attacking us, then we need to have the sugar energy to do that. So that's why cortisol is referred to as the stress hormone. So, so you have the release of this hormone as we sleep. And so, like I said, it regulates your sugar. So it will regulate your sugar and carbohydrate kind of storage and release into the bloodstream. So if you have a peak in your cortisol, typically you'll have a bump in your sugar, right? So if you don't have this released in a pattern that is regular for you, then you can have some problems with blood sugar regulation, and in some cases, people do have some issues with diabetes as a consequence. So these are some of the things that can be worrisome for a night worker. And in this episode, I'm only going to talk about the problems. What I'm going to try to do is either tomorrow or the next day, I will go over some of the solutions and some actions that you can take in order to alleviate this from occurring. So cortisol is a big one, and I was asked about this yesterday, which is kind of what triggered me to talk about it. So your cortisol release is, as I described, rises rapidly as you go to sleep and then peaks when you are about to wake up in the early morning. So as a night shifter, as you can well imagine, you'll probably need to shift that so that you get that same response only when you're sleeping in the daytime. Okay, and I'll talk about how to do that tomorrow. On the next broadcast. Hey Sharon, thanks for joining. And then the other hormone that is released that I'm going to talk about, there are others. There's something called leptin and growth hormone. There are a ton of hormones that are released when you sleep. But the next one I'm going to talk about is melatonin. And that one is important because that one is really based on that light dark, and it is something that allows for you to get the quality of sleep, and it allows for you to get that deep release when you're in your REM sleep, which is your most important sleep, which is that super deep sleep. And if you don't have good melatonin on board, your sleep pattern is not going to be, it's not going to be as deep. You're not going to get to REM, and you're not going to get the release of some of those other important hormones that you need to have released during sleep time. So those are the points that I wanted to make. Yes, there is a difference between the hormonal release at night when you sleep in dark or night, and then what happens when you're sleeping in day or light. And I'm going to talk about how you modify that and modulate that in the next episode. Okay, so in that time, I'm not going to go on any further. I'm going to, like I said, we'll talk about it more. I just wanted to introduce you to the differences in those two hormones that I'm going to focus on. And hopefully, if you have any questions, if you could leave them below, that'd be great. I'll try my best to get back to you. And that's basically what I had for you this morning. So I hope that you will be strong, be great, and be strong, be brave, and unleash your greatness. Have an amazing day.